Hello and welcome to Namaste Today, a cheerful way to begin your day. I'm your heartfelt host and the Sensei to serious joy, Christopher Witecki. This audio blogcast is for Tuesday, May 30th, 2017. Welcome back from the holiday weekend. Namaste. After a quiet and somewhat spiritually sluggish weekend, today the energy will pick up, and I do mean pick up. We have a grand trine in fire that's inspiring you to take the next step forward. In today's zodiac weather, I'll give you details on how. And later in our tea time, I have a topic and a tip that you'll want to hear. But first, let's take a look at today's mood and your zodiac weather. This zodiac weather is for Tuesday, May 30th, 2017. And my global prediction for planet Gaia is sunny and hyperactive today. Step 9 of Gemini rules the day, racing thoughts forward, and a grand trine in fire accelerates the passion. Let's take a look at the planets. Life speeds up today. Step 9 Gemini is the ruling state of awareness. Step 9 is our ego, and Gemini, of course, is our thoughts. That means ego and thoughts are working side by side today, likely triggering one another. This is definitely a day where loose lips sink ships. People often say more than they mean to on a day like today, so pray caution before you speak up. But also, it means it's time to move forward with business. It's kind of adequately timed after a United States holiday that we move forward today, but we move forward regardless. On the high end, you have an idea of where things are going. At least you've trailblazed a potential path. On the low end, it's time to step up to the next level. So today you're taking a step forward with your plans, your negotiations, your communications. But because Mercury is back at step 17 Taurus, you're most likely moving forward with your plans to manifest something. This is what I've referred to as the golden egg. And today it looks like you'll be making some sort of decision that moves that creation forward at least one step. On a bigger picture, this likely inspires some grand excitement because we have a powerful, fiery grand trine in fire today, triggered by the moon in I Love Me Leo. So emotions about loving yourself or loving your next step or loving what you see maybe in the future trines in to your story you were born to live, represented by Saturn at step 25 retrograde Sagittarius, and that trines in up into Venus and later Uranus. So Venus opening up to this new character. In essence, we're starting to fall in love with this new character that we see brewing on the horizon, and we also are starting to get excited about the story that we are in and the next chapter that's ahead of us. So this is really a great day for passion. This is a great day for creative genius. This is a great day of telling someone that you absolutely adore and love them, because there's going to be a lot of love and creative energy in the air. And it might even cause a little hyperactive energy since the sun in Gemini is at step 9. That adds even more fuel to the excitement and the fire. And adding another layer to this wedding cake of planetary astrology, we have a temporary yod today. Yod is God giving us the finger, pointing to where we need to look at immediately. In this case, one leg of the yod is the moon in Leo. So your feelings for love, your feelings for creativity, whatever loving feelings you are feeling. The other leg is this new notion that you deserve higher, that things need to be more fair, that there's new philosophy about what is equal to you. So your heart and this philosophy that things should be higher all pour into Neptune in Pisces at step 14. And what this is, in my opinion, is that there's a sense today that our spiritual story may not be what we thought it would be. We may not end up losing after all. The nice guy may not finish last. You may have some sort of a spiritual moment where you realize that your karmic story is changing now and that you can shift to a new story in your head with a new happy ending or outcome card if you use tarot. Now, love is a big, big part of this equation. I've talked about the Great American Solar Eclipse coming August 21st. The moon in Leo today, in some ways, with this grand trine and fire, is laying down some sort of fire railroad tracks for this potential passion. In fact, the North Node in Leo has now moved to step 27, which means we are being directed, which is how I see the North Node, basically where God directs us, what to look at, what to focus on. We're being directed to follow what we feel and love and what we sense we love. And that also adds to a 9. So as we move forward in our new thinking, which is what step 9 in Gemini is about, we are starting to feel the new us, feel the new story, begin to fall in sort of love with some direction or some new piece of information. And this is leading to the spot we want to manifest, to take grand action on behalf of our heart. That's how I see the North Node at step 27. Interestingly enough, the North Node at step 27 happens to directly trine the galactic center at step 27, Sagittarius. And you could also say that galactic center is trining Uranus at step 26, Aries. And so we have a very powerful, high-degree grand trine and fire going on at the same time from the point of the galactic center and this imaginary spot, the North Node, at 27 degrees. Basically, when your love and excitement gets up to that 27th degree where you feel it and you sense it, that it is your destiny, that grand trine lights up, basically, where I feel you get called closer to the story you were born to live and closer to the expression you came to express, which is what Aries is about. What are we going to actually do? What are we going to actually express? Does that sound like a lot of stuff going on? Heck yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of powerful energy today. You might want to take a second to ground, and you might want to stick around for the tea time today. Go steep yourself some tea, and let's have our daily tea time. Hello, my friend, and welcome to our tea time. Today's tea time topic is a tea time tip. I have a tip for you that I've learned through the years, and today's tea time tip is to exercise. And your eyes might be rolling right now, right? That's almost a dirty word in our modern culture, to exercise. It feels just exhausting to think about having to go exercise. But let me tell you, as a sensei to serious joy, it has been one of my secret little, let's say, I don't want to use the word weapon, but truly weapon against great stress. In fact, you know, it's only been in the modern age that we have started to slow down as much as we have. And with technology moving the way it is, we're going to slow down even further. I don't know, probably it was the 1950s when we were probably walking from house to house and mostly walking. Some people started to have cars. And then maybe we started to hitch a ride with someone and walk a little less. And then we began to have college education and we started having desk jobs. And we've been sitting and sitting and sitting. And people who do hard labor, for instance, picking fruit or working in an assembly line, they're working, but they're doing repetitive motion, which is breaking down their system as well. At the same time, what's begun to happen through the modern era is all this stress. We have all this media. We have all this sensationalized news that tries to shock you. Everything on television is written so that there's some sort of dramatic cliffhanger before commercial, so you can wait through the commercial to see how it's resolved. And each commercial is like 30 seconds of total insanity in most cases, all stood back to back to back. So our text messages are going off, our phone's ringing, we're getting instant alerts, the radio is on, we're streaming on television. We basically are putting all this stress on ourselves like we never have. All this stress with how we respond to certain situations, and we're doing absolutely nothing to get that stress out of our body. Of course, there's a lot of pharmaceuticals building huge industries on pain and stress and certain disorders, But I think a lot of this stress that we're going through is happening because as a species, we're no longer exercising. We're not walking back and forth to school. We're not playing sports. We're barely showing up for gym. And we're not getting in our bodies. Now, this has been my secret sauce to surviving, to be honest. I've found that this year alone, as the years go on, I get more sensitive. And I have to say, this year was one of the most intense spiritual years we've gone through since January, as far as the energy shifting and all these outer planets pushing really high up in the sky. Saturn, I'm talking about, and Uranus and Chiron. This is forcing us to stand up tall, and it's adding a lot of electrical energy. So I have found that the only thing that's got me through these times has been regular exercise. And as I'm on the treadmill, which is like my forte for doing exercise, I'll get on the treadmill and I will run and do cardiovascular. And I really think, if you just want to know, the only important exercise really is cardiovascular. That is, that your heart basically pumps as hard as it can for 20 to 25 minutes in a certain period. And that does a number of things, okay? For one, yes, it's good exercise. It makes your heart stronger. But it really does make your heart stronger in the sense that your heart begins to be able to pump more blood over time per pump. So your heart becomes more efficient and your heart works less in downtime because it's been stressed in this kind of physical cardiovascular situation. The other thing that happens, I found, is, I do a tremendous amount of work. You have to imagine that I have this endless list of work, and there are times when the stress of how much work I have to do just makes my body want to shut down. And one of the things about cardiovascular is if you sweat at your hardest for about 20 minutes, something happens where that stress is released from your body. I literally feel through the workout my body kind of doing dry heaves like a baby after it cries, like literally letting out like deep, profound stress inside of me. And another thing that's important about cardiovascular is it takes the power away from the mind. How many of you are meditating every day and quieting your mind? I bet you hardly nobody raised their hand just now. So your mind tends to be the thing that's firing all the time, particularly when the sun's in Gemini, telling you, acting all this electrical energy. And again, our electrical system starts to overpower the other 11 states of our awareness, particularly our body. When you tell your body to run, or do gymnastics, and your mind wants to fight, but your body moves on anyways, now the body actually takes as the aggressor of the relationship, and the mind basically has nothing to do but to sit back and go through this experience. The mind is being forced to go through this experience. The mind basically is being dominated in that sense, and it's chilling out. So I have found that by doing regular cardiovascular exercise, it allows me to tell my mind who's boss. It allows me to relieve my stress, okay? It allows me to pump more blood per pump. And it really does kind of cleanse my well-being. When you do a workout, particularly in the morning, and you stress your body out, you basically, in that workout, 20 minutes or whatever it is, you put yourself through more stress than you will have through the entire day. And there's something interesting about it because once you've done that, your body has faced the hardest thing it's going to face all day. The rest of the day is just cakewalk to the body. And the body then can be the house for the soul, the part that can actually ground you. So I think a lot of our phobias, a lot of our trouble, a lot of our depression really comes from the fact that as a culture, we have stopped exercising. We used to have to walk everywhere, and so the nature of our life forced us to exercise. But as we move now down this path of innovation and robots picking fruit and Google Assistant ordering dinner, we're going to have to deliberately, like lab rats, put ourselves on a treadmill and make sure we get what our body needs. I truly think that a lot of the things that's in the way of people's personal happiness is that they don't feel good in their own body to begin with. They don't have a good relationship with their body. They don't like being inside their body. And really, if you want serious joy, the first thing you need to do is make friends with that body. So Sensei says, exercise does lead to serious joy. All right, my friend, I hope you have a wonderful day. If things get too anxious today, go take a walk around the block or do some exercise. I promise you're going to feel better. Remember when you're out there, I love you, and to live, love, be.
Live, love, be.